Hello, everyone around the world. Welcome. Bienvenidos, que calos irfete, to Coloring My Way Across the Globe. I'm your host, Lauren Battistini, color consultant, artist, language learner, and world traveler. Join me each week as I chronicle the most colorful people, places, and experiences I encounter off the beaten path, both near and far. So, let's go. Vámonos, que pame. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Coloring My Way Across the Globe. It's me, your host and your color lady, Lauren Battistini, and I am recording today from Athens, beautiful Athens, Greece. I'm in a suburb of Athens, and I have my guest today with me, who I'd like to introduce you to. Her name is Marina Tsekoura, and we have become acquainted through LinkedIn, of all places. And I am pleased to be here with her in her writing studio in the neighborhood of Athens. So we are going to get started here. And Marina is someone I met, like I said, on LinkedIn. She is a culture writer for an international publication called Insights Greece. The founder of Insight Greece actually is based in Australia, but is of Greek heritage. And so Marina and I came into contact on LinkedIn, and we coordinated to have a visit and an interview today where we will be talking all things Greece, language learning, and a lot of really cool insights and places here in Greece that are off the beaten path. And I'm delighted to have you as a guest, Marina. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's so nice meeting you. I love the fact that we're going to talk about Greece and all this beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Well, one of the things that I wanted us to talk about, because in meeting you on LinkedIn, I discovered that you have a love for people and languages and travel just as I do. So before we really talk about Greece and all of the wonderful places to see, I thought that we should talk about language learning, because I understand you're into your fourth or fifth language that you're learning. So I want to know, tell me about how you learn languages.
I find learning a foreign language quite a gratifying and creative process. Sometimes it reminds me of the memory games we used to play as kids. Also, I aim to understand deeply the culture, and for that reason I watch constantly films, listen to music, podcasts, read news and articles from each country. I speak English and Italian at a proficiency level. I have basic knowledge in German, and I am a native Greek speaker. Moreover, something that a few know is that here in Greece, as a nation, we seek to learn new languages from a very young age. Since elementary school, English is taught as a second language, and in high school it's obligatory to choose between German and French. As a result, our education system itself promotes multilingualism.
Yes. Well, I'm very impressed by the Greeks because you value cultural understanding, knowledge, as well as language learning. And actually, I'm kind of having a problem here in Athens now because as I try to improve my Greek, I'm studying Greek as my third language.
Congratulations.
Thank you. People keep talking to me. They start out in Greek. I speak to them in Greek. And once they realize that my Greek is limited, then they revert to English. And so, but it's a testament to how Athenians especially are very multilingual. I've been impressed by that. But what I want to know is, being of Italian heritage myself, I want to find out about your love of Italy and the Italian language and how you started Italian lessons.
The springboard to start learning Italian was during the pandemic. I was searching for something creative to fill my days, and I came in contact with a very interesting person, my Italian teacher. We started this fruitful collaboration. We had some Zoom meetings, and in 3 years I have reached this proficiency level of
in
knowledge.
3 years of proficiency level?
Yeah, and I've traveled a lot in Italy too. That's how. Also, German was a very fascinating process of learning. It's very different. And English, of course, it's the basis. Because English is a basic language that we learn here in Greece. I find language that is a mirror of a people's way of thinking and reflects their mentality and their attitude towards life. Is a key marker of identity and allows us as individuals to place ourselves within the framework of our communities and the wider landscape. And it is increasingly recognized as an intangible heritage, and I totally agree that we should preserve that. Since
So you're saying you tie language with heritage and culture. I do too.
for sure, and my love for people lead me to this path of learning languages. Since a very young age, it has fascinated me a lot to identify differences and similarities between nations. It is a valuable tool for us, people who travel a lot, because it makes us easier to explore in depth every aspect of each country's culture, come in contact with people, and be able to connect and share our thoughts and our feelings.
Don't you also think too that speaking multiple languages when you travel, it creates a more enriching travel experience? Because you were telling me that when you went to New York, you wanted to talk to all the locals to figure out really interesting places to go.
You feel safer. You feel safety when you speak the language of the host country, and of course, it's easier to learn the local stuff, learn how the locals work, where do they go to have some fun, explore the secret gems that the tourist guide will provide you.
That's right.
That's
right.
impressive. It makes the experience more livable. You become a traveler, not a tourist.
Yeah, I agree with you. And language is a big part of that. And I think that learning languages it's not just about the academics of it, it's about the relational aspect to it. And there are certain things, for example, in the Greek language that you have to speak Greek and know those words to really understand Greek. People like philoxenia. That's a very distinctly Greek concept. Yes, it means hospitality, but it means a lot more than just hospitality, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even in the English language, we see this different meanings of the words. You cannot translate everything, but as long as you talk with natives, you feel the language.
Well,
You understand from their expressions and their emotions. The use of every word can provide a different context.
most definitely. Well, and this is the main reason why I wanted to interview you is because I found you on LinkedIn through Insights Greece publication, and then I read your bio, I read your profile about how you have this love of people, culture, travel, and interesting experiences, and I thought I've got to interview Marina because she and I are of like mind. So a lot of my listeners are from the U.S. and very interested in travel, and they don't want to hear about the typical top 5 things to do in any given country. We really don't want to hear things that are a part of the mainstream tourist guides, travel guides, for example. So let's launch in, and I wanted to find out from your perspective, as a native Greek, the top 5, let's call them non-touristy places in or around Athens, because I'm here for the next 2 weeks, and wherever you say to go is where I'm going to go. So please enlighten us.
Well, the Greek capital has always something for people who don't want typical tourist activities and places. Number 1, I would definitely suggest you to get a picture of the city from above. One of the best things about Athens is that the dense urban fabric has a surprising amount of green space. Relax and enjoy the view of the city from above by choosing to take a walk around its hills. The whole area around Acropolis and by Theseo is one place to wander in nature.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have something funny to say. We will pick up on this in a moment. My GPS on my phone took me through a lot of really rugged terrain. And yesterday around...
you got a panoramic view of the city.
Very much panoramic around Agora. I was walking. I don't know why my GPS took me through all of the ruins and the rocks. And so I've seen some of it, but tell us more about the green spaces and the panoramic view, please.
I love them. I really do. Another is Mount Lykavitos, I usually say it in Greek. It's 3,000 meters high. This wooded hill provides the best panoramic view of the city.
Ooh.
Paths and stairs ascend the mountain. Also, there is a telepheric to reach the top, leaving from beautiful Evangelismos neighborhood.
Which is
Evangelismos.
Evangelismos. Okay,
Yeah.
You'll provide us with written descriptions of all this later, yes.
For sure.
Thank you.
Also, our beautiful hills to discover are Mount Imitos and Philopappou.
Okay.
Make sure to do that. Another activity I would recommend to a US tourist, and I do that also as a local, browse for antiques in Monastiraki. The Monastiraki neighborhood is known for its flea market and antique stores full of sacred gems. There you can find antiques through mid-century, prints, furniture, items to decorate your house, jewelry, anything you can imagine. Be ready for some good-natured bargaining if you plan to make a pursuit.
Well, yes, you had recommended that, and I was just there yesterday at the flea
Oh,
market,
really?
and I found a little miniature vintage traveling set of playing cards, a deck of cards in a little case. So I was there and I bought that, but I saw everything you've described. Little jewelry pieces, pocket watches, antique furniture, artwork, you name it.
Old books also.
Old books, yes, as well.
From publications that do not longer exist. It's amazing. There are pieces of our history.
Yes.
Also, I would suggest you to sip coffee at spots in the vibrant neighborhoods of Koukaki and Pagrati. Coffee culture is huge here in Athens. You know that
yes,
already.
It is. At any hour of the day, you will find Greeks drinking some type of coffee beverage.
From 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., we drink our coffee.
Seriously.
We hang out, we go out to drink coffee, and then we go out, we do that constantly. Greeks love going out for coffee every single day. Consequently, there are dozens of cute and peaceful coffee stores in the city. Koukaki and Pagrati are both neighborhoods that offer a variety of themed coffee stores, cafeterias, and authentic small local bars and tavernas also. Make sure you try Freddo, it's an iced espresso, frappe or Greek coffee served with fresh baked cakes and biscuits. Also in these neighborhoods I've mentioned, you will find plenty of bakery stores to try local snacks and enjoy with your coffee. What else? Oh, make sure you check out some of the less central neighborhoods, as you did today, that you came in my place and have this beautiful podcast. Athens is full of neighborhoods with distinctive character. I will share with you my two favorite. Glyfada is the one. The glamorous seaside suburb of Glyfada is a highly recommended place to visit. You can easily get there by taking the tram, which leaves from the center of Athens near Syntagma Square, and I suggest you there to walk around the coastline, discover by your own the chic cafes, the amazing local stores, and have the best shopping experience.
Okay, so this I am going to do, your recommendation. And so Glyfada is part of what's called the Athens Riviera.
Exactly.
And I definitely want to experience that because we're here in October, there's still sunlight and warmth, and the waters are still warm enough to swim in. So I definitely will do that this weekend.
For sure. We have to remember that Athens has a beautiful sea. It's not only the urban style in the center. There is the panoramic view also, but we can have this beautiful walk in the coastline, admire the beauty and feel the sea breeze. It's amazing. Another neighborhood I would suggest is Kifisia. Exactly at the opposite side of Athens, you will find Kifisia. The metro will whisk you quickly from the heart of the center to the northern suburb of Kifisia. The old part of the neighborhood is full of crumbling mansions, beautiful old classy buildings, unique architecture style. Relax in Kefalari Square and join the locals at the old school patisseries, drink your aperitif at fancy restaurants, and feel this different experience of Athens.
Well, I'm hearing you mention a lot of food places, and I have to say, first of all of these recommendations I will make sure to check off my list while I'm here in Athens. Also, because I've been walking so much every day, I feel that I can eat whatever I want, and I'm noticing while I'm here in Greece that I just feel lighter and I feel more fit because I am legitimately walking everywhere. And instead of eating, 2 giant meals a day, I'm just sort of snacking throughout the day. And I feel like that's kind of a Greek.
As a nutritionist, I suggest that. I recommend that.
You recommend it? Okay, so I'm doing right. I'm doing it right. Okay.
You burn your calories. You walk a lot.
I would say, I have most certainly been doing that.
And also food and local cuisine and gastronomy is part of the travel experience. You have to try local dishes. You have to taste, because when you will leave Greece, you will remember pictures, you will have memories, a scent, and a taste.
That is correct. When I travel, I like to be very immersed in the cultural experience, and food and wine, food and drink are very much part of anybody's culture.
And the Mediterranean diet is the best, to be honest.
Oh yeah, the Mediterranean diet is the best. And I'll tell you something else on a side note, and you having that degree in nutrition and fitness that you have, you'll appreciate this. Having come from the U.S. here to Greece, I've been here now, I've been in Greece for 3 weeks now, I've got 2 more weeks. I have been eating all kinds of things, but it's all homemade food without the preservatives, without the additives.
Cooked with olive oil.
I feel great. I feel well. I have energy. My digestion is great. It's just a different lifestyle and frankly a better diet. There's a better diet here.
Even as we said before the podcast record, the way that we enjoy our meals here in Greece, the way that we sit around the table, we discuss, we serve food, this connection makes good to your mental health also.
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, and I know we could go off on a variety of tangents right now, and we won't, but I do have to say something kind of cultural that I like. It's endearing to me. When I sit down here in Greece for any meal, I notice that the waiter or waitress, they come and serve me my food, and they don't really come and bring the bill to me forever. For a long, long time. I have to ask for the bill. And the reason for that is because in Greek culture, you don't rush through your meals. You're not expected to leave after 30 minutes. It is expected here in Greece, and I've been in many areas of Greece, including the islands, and any meal I have, no one is trying to rush me out of the door. In fact, they want me to stay. They want me to enjoy the meal, and they come and check on me and ask how I'm doing, but at no point in time do they really bring me the bill, because they want me to feel that I can stay and just linger.
Have the experience your meal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Most
very
definitely.
important.
So the 5 non-touristy places through Athens, will you just recap them for me?
I would like to add one more.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, despite the fact that we all must try local food and local tastes, we have to listen to local music also. The music scene is on fire in Athens. I have 4 places to suggest where you can experience the greatest concert and listen to Greek bands rocking and setting the stage on fire. The 4 places are Technopolis, Gazarte, Faust, and Spica. And you can discover many other. All music tastes are covered there at these places.
This is good to
From
know.
rock to jazz or Greek ballads, you should do that.
Okay, before I leave, I'm going to. Everything you've suggested everything that you will suggest to me on this podcast, to the extent that I can, I will fit these activities in before I leave in 2 weeks. It's a challenge that I'm taking on.
I'm waiting impatiently for your experience.
For my feedback?
Yeah, for your feedback.
Well, I trust your judgment. You're a local, and you report on all things cultural, so.
Thank you.
Okay, so we talk a lot about, a lot of people, U.S. citizens who want to go to Greece, they always talk about the Greek islands or Athens. But there's so much more to mainland Greece that a lot of people don't know about. So I would really like for you to discuss with me and with my listeners some places within mainland Greece that you think are beautiful, distinctive, and worth taking the time to visit.
Well, a well-kept secret that few people know is that Greece is a mountainous country. Despite the fact that the Aegean Islands are places of unparalleled beauty that you must visit, there are also distinctive, worth visiting places in the mainland.
Yeah, because people don't think of mainland Greece as being mountainous, but it absolutely is. You've got every kind of terrain in Greece.
Yeah, and during winter season, I have the best suggestions for you.
Okay.
Starting from northern Greece, Thessaloniki stands out.
Thessaloniki, yes.
Thessaloniki is the second largest city in Greece after Athens. It's one of the most amazing cities to visit, renowned for its festivals, vibrant cultural life, and it is considered to be the Greece's cultural capital. That's why I love it.
Thessaloniki is Greece's cultural capital. I like this.
Visitors can explore there the amazing archaeological sites. This is something that I usually do. I walk across the coastline. I admire the architecture buildings influenced by Roman, Ottoman period, or even Byzantine architecture.
So wait, can you back up? You said Byzantine, Ottoman, and there was a third period.
Yeah, this was an economic power since very...
but I think you said 3. You said Byzantine,
Ottoman, and Roman Empire.
And Roman, yes, of course.
Yeah. It's impressive. You can see all these different architecture styles in the same city. full of churches, and of course, it's a gastronomic paradise. There's delicious local cuisine there to explore, and of course, a lively nightlife scene. It's a unique city. I love it, and you have to visit it.
I will definitely visit Thessaloniki. You know, you mentioned that all these different past cultural influences. You know, I'm from New Orleans, born and raised, and we have a very rich blended history ourselves. A lot of French influence, Spanish influence, you name it, we have it. So this appeals to me. I definitely will put Thessaloniki on my list of places to visit.
It has an airport with many flights directly from States to Thessaloniki, or you can have a flight from Athens to Thessaloniki. It's like 30 minutes duration. It's very close. Even by car, it's not more than 6 hours.
You know, I actually, you have inspired me. I might, before I leave in 2 weeks, I might take an Aegean Airlines flight from Athens to Thessaloniki for maybe a day or two. I think it's worth it.
It is. It totally is. I recommend it.
Okay.
I highly recommend it. In the western part of the country, the city of Ioannina stands out for me.
Ioannina.
Ioannina.
Okay.
During autumn and spring, Ioannina and the whole region of Epirus is a nice choice for a romantic long weekend getaway. It's filled with history, beautiful monasteries, museums, lively nightlife also. Something unique about the city is that in the center of the city there is a big lake named Pamphotida, and nearby beautiful, peaceful restaurants, bars, cafes.
Pamphotida?
Jewelry.
Oh. Okay.
Shops, so many jewelry shops there. And of course, because of the mountain, you can discover peaceful and picturesque villages. The most common name of these villages is Zagorochoria.
Zagorochoria. Okay, I'm practicing my Greek pronunciation, everybody.
This group of villages is filled with narrow valleys, stone-made houses, giving a charm and calming feeling. These villages are recognized for its rich flora and natural beauty, lakes, rivers, and you will discover amazing panoramic view.
Okay, so this place, because of its picturesque nature, this sounds like a good place for me to go and take a bunch of photographs that I will then use to do my next art series.
Exactly.
Okay, that would give me plenty of artistic inspiration.
During autumn, it's like, I don't know, it's like an artistic scene. You can see all the colors changing in the trees. It's
beautiful.
Amazing. And of course, on the southern Greece, the Peloponnese is the most visited region, and my favorite one. Peloponnese hosts the most important archaeological sites of Greece, including the ancient theatre of Epidavros, where the theatre is born, the ancient Olympia, where the Olympic Games were born, and the Mykene, the castle of Mykene, the palace of Mykene, Surrounded by sea from all sides, the peninsula of Peloponnese provides amazing beaches and unforgettable views. The most famous areas include the city of Nafplio, Kalamata, Monemvasia, and Pylos. Also, it is a gastronomic paradise because it's the top producer of olive oil in Greece. Also, the climate makes it the greatest region for cultivating the best grapes for the finest wine. It's a worth visiting place. It's one of my favorites, but specifically during summer, you will experience a dream getaway.
Well, you just named two of my favorites, wine and olive oil. This is the Italian in me speaking. I love it.
They have many Italians there. They collaborate oftenly with Italians. They produce olive oil. They send it in Italy. They have many also cultural activities with Italians.
And as a small side note before we go on, you know, there's this connection, I think, between Greeks and Italians, and there's an expression that we use a lot, right? Una faccia, una razza.
Exactly.
Which is basically like saying the same face, same race.
They have many similarities.
Cultural similarities, very, very traditional family values.
As a mentality.
Very passionate people, very much about culinary experiences, and very spirited people. Wouldn't you say that the Greeks and the Italians are very spirited people?
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more. I understand it as long as I'm learning the language.
Oh yeah.
As I'm getting in contact with locals from there. The Mediterranean style of life is unique.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as I'm talking with you, We have similarities also, maybe because we're both from the south part. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
You can find the similarities with people from places you couldn't even imagine, but mostly from places who are very nearby to each other
That's right.
because of the history.
That's correct. But and I keep going off on tangents, but this is something we talked about even before the podcast about how people who are kind of from the south of the equator a little bit, people who are more southern geographically, tend to be sometimes more warm and hospitable and a little bit open. And I was born and raised in New Orleans. I live in Houston, Texas now. I have more of that southern culture, which I think aligns well with, and is very similar to your culture here, and also the culture in Italy. Just very warm and open and passionate and friendly, and that's my perspective anyway. Would you agree?
I agree. I totally agree. And I see that as long as I'm traveling, I mentioned that we have this kind of similarities.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's shift gears for a moment, and I want to talk about the work that you do as a culture writer for the publication I found on LinkedIn. It's called Insights Greece. So tell me a little bit more about the publication and the topics that you write about, and why my listeners should read the publication.
Insights Greece is an international online travel and lifestyle magazine, well respected, trusted platform known for its insightful and engaging content. Our audience is mainly from US, Australia, France and Canada. Insights Greece aims to promote Greece both on cultural and travel level. My work as a lifestyle journalist and culture writer focuses on exploring various facets of lifestyle, travel, culture, and glorifying my country in a wider audience.
So I like where you say glorifying your country to a wider audience, and I think it's wonderful. I love that you have this pride in your culture. Greece is a country that should be visited. It's filled with such rich history, vibrancy, and I like your phrasing there. What did you say? Glorifying
the country in a wider audience.
Yeah, glorifying the country to a wider audience, and I know that my listeners are excited to hear all about your country. Okay, so I ask every guest this because I specialize in color. It's what I do. I've been an architectural color consultant, and now
Impressive.
thank you, and now I'm doing a lot with travel illustration and having everything I do has to do with color in some form or fashion. So my question for you: what does it mean to you to live a colorful life, and how do you live one?
To live a colorful life is to live a life that you love, appreciate every aspect, be a free spirit, constantly trying to transform dark into light. I strongly believe that there are various ways to fill our lives with color. At first, I think the basis is to cultivate the curiosity and lifelong learning. I try personally to travel as much as I can, discover new ideas, people, places, and interests. Secondly, I try to be inventive. To think outside the box. It's not easy all the time. I try to be open to any change. Moreover, I do my best to stay close to people, places, and ideas that inspire me and fill my everyday life with sources of art. Last but not least, I don't lose a chance to express myself, share thoughts, feelings, and communicate them, as we do now.
Yeah, I feel what you say resonates with me, because for me, leading a colorful life, yes, it has to do with surrounding yourself literally by color. But the way you've described it is it has to do with new experiences, thinking outside of the box, being imaginative, looking for new experiences, meeting new people. And those are the things that fill your life with color. So it's not just color literally, it's the things that promote a more creative, open lifestyle. And
Exactly.
I really appreciate your answer and your perspective on that. So a couple more questions for you, Marina. We've discussed this, you and I have. I'm here basically in Greece for the whole entire month of October. And I chose to come here during this month because I knew the weather would still be nice and the tourists will have kind of not gone, but the main influx of tourists, they've headed home already. So why do you think October is great to visit?
Excellent choice. I would say early fall is the best time to visit Greece because it's outside the busy summer peaks, and also because of the temperature. Temperatures during October are warm but not stifling. Also, I would underline the fact that October is a month full of events and concerts in Athens, as many productions return to the stages of the capital after having done their summer tours.
Oh, yes.
So It's a good choice.
Okay, so in one of your latest articles for Insights Greece, you wrote about things to do in October in Athens, and you recommended that the largest food and wine festival in Athens, or in Greece actually,
Yeah.
it's happening this weekend. I've bought a ticket, and I will be reporting back on it. I'm going to go to this wine and art festival. So thank you for that.
Please use the public transportation.
Do?
Please use the public transportation when you drink.
Oh, yeah. I don't drink and drive. Don't worry. And now, do I drink and walk? I mean, I could maybe walk a little bit, but I'll take public transportation. Don't worry.
I'm waiting for your feedback from this too.
I think it's going to be wonderful. I'll hear a lot of. I will see a lot of beautiful art. I'll be sampling a bunch of different wines from many different regions around Greece. This is going to be very important for me. And so, thank you for the recommendation. Now, I want to end this podcast on a funny note. And this is about U.S. tourists. and it's okay if you want to poke a little bit of fun at us. I know that Greeks do love Americans and vice versa.
We love you.
Well, we love you too. That's why we want to keep visiting. But what do you think? What things are funny to you about U.S. tourists? I've got to know.
Guys, it's extremely funny the fact that you come to Greece and you visit McDonald's. Oh, please. You will sure buy your first souvlaki and Greek gyros, but then you will go to KFC, McDonald's, and all these fast food industries. Come on, you have it already. You created them.
That's right. Okay, now that is funny to me. But it might be funny to you, but actually to me, it's annoying. Because if I see my fellow countrymen, in line to go to McDonald's here in Athens, to me that's ridiculous. Why come to Greece?
You're seeking for home feeling. That's what I think.
I guess they're homesick, but my goodness, I'm all about trying new food. So that's one funny thing. We wait in line at KFC and McDonald's. Okay, what else?
Also, it's fun to see how excited is the average American tourist during all day about things that are more than 200 years old. Here, as Greeks, we're used to walk under Acropolis. It's our whole life. But you seem so excited that you take pictures and selfies.
Oh, yeah. Well, our country's a young
cute.
country. Well, we're a young country, and so to us, a 100-year-old building seems just archaic. But so we come to a place like Greece, which is one of the bedrocks of ancient civilization, and it is truly awe-inspiring for us. Now, you see it every day, and so to you, yes, it's important to you, but you're used to seeing it. To us, it's magical. We are in awe of all of that history.
I find it cute and don't find it so funny. It's very cute.
It's endearing, right? You like that about us?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can identify the American tourists from this activity. And last but not least, please, guys, don't become victims of the mass tourist marketing industry wearing hats and t-shirts "I love Greece" or hoodies with ancient Greek philosophers. You stand out from afar.
Okay, no, this is how I do look at other people. I can easily identify U.S. American tourists because they're wearing the Santorini hat. They're wearing a t-shirt that says that
I love Mykonos.
Yeah, I love Mykonos. And I'm thinking to myself, my gosh, A, you're looking like a Target.
And sandals with socks, don't do that, please.
Oh, sandals with socks. That is laughable. And okay, I need you to tell my listeners, because they are not here to see this, tell them how I'm dressed today and tell them that I am not dressed like a typical tourist, please.
No, you seem like a local.
I seem like a local.
So beautiful.
Did you all hear this? I seem like a local. I'm dressing like a person who actually lives here. I'm not wearing the touristy merchandise with the Greek flag on it. Now, if you want to buy something like that, yes, wear it at home in the States. Yeah, or in private. It can be, at home. Well, Marina, thank you so much for being here with me. And
thank you so much for the invitation of the beautiful talk. Thank you for promoting Greece in every level. It's amazing, this new series of podcasts that you are creating. I'm waiting impatiently for the next months. So happy talking about beautiful stuff, beautiful people, culture, my country, and our common love about traveling.
Most definitely, and I thank you and appreciate you, and I wanted to interview you as my guest because I feel like for us, this is a conversation between two like-minded people, between now two friends. I think we share so many of the same philosophies about the importance of learning language, the importance of having new experiences, and
connecting with people.
And I heard you say at the beginning of the interview, and it resonated the most with me, that you learn languages because you love people.
Exactly.
And that is the exact reason that I learn languages. And that really is the deepest way to get to know people, is to tap into their language and how they communicate. So I applaud you for learning all the languages that you do and for the work that you do at Insights Insights Greece. And again, thank you for being here, and I am going to check out all of the places that you've suggested. Thank you.
Thank you too.
And to my listeners, stay tuned, everybody. You will see in the description of the podcast episode all of the places that Marina has recommended. And in addition, I forgot to mention, she's going to recommend some songs for us to add to our Spotify playlist. Again, Marina, thank you. And until next time, everybody, do not forget to live colorfully. Take care. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Coloring My Way Across the Globe. I hope that you've enjoyed the conversation, and we would love to stay connected with you throughout the week. The best way to connect is by subscribing to our newsletter at www.lfbcolor.com. That's www.l as in Lauren, F as in Frank, B as in boy, color, COLOR.com. Also, you may find us on Instagram using the same handle, LFBcolor, for the latest stories, podcast guest profiles, travel photography, language learning diaries, and my own colorful art. Hope to see you there, friends. Thank you again.